The Louis Diaz podcast.
But I was looking over at this table going, wow, I like that. I like that tradition. I like what these Italians, how important family is to them and how everyone at the table is important. So if the kid come in interrupted, it was like, oh yeah, let's all listen to you and what you have to say. And the kid would be talking something I couldn't tell it was Italian. It could be gibberish.
Yeah.
But everyone was paying attention. And go, oh, okay, yeah, great. And then getting back to the stories. But the child was equally as important as everyone else at the table. I feel like when I compared it to like how would it be back home, the parents would be talking and then they'd pull out the iPad and be like, just go over there and just let us adults talk.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I thought that was a really special part of Italian culture that I had witnessed over there that I felt like was missing here.
Yeah, they do that, where they almost treat the kids like adults, which I don't know if I can sit here and say I agree or disagree with it, but I don't know. It's different than when when you grew up, and then the way I've grown up now. I remember just sitting at the kids' table. I had no interest in what the adults were talking about. I preferred always just to be, with my cousins or whether we'd be playing soccer outside or just watching something on the TV or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I guess it's just an observation. And I think it was specific to like the moment where dinner's being served as well.
Yeah.
And they're at a restaurant, so. But yeah, I find that fascinating. Ooh, geez, we're taking this on a few tangents, but it's good. I like it. It's very soulful. I think it's one of the things. What you said before was like, it's just me. Like, you're not seeing anything. That was the thing. I think that's where the point where I just switched off trying to go through your Instagram feed. I was like, I don't think I can find any angle here that gives me any insight into Massimo's life outside of social media. I just think that this is the life.
It is. It is like I don't, like everything. Like most of the videos, like if not all of them, they're not planned.
Yeah,
they're just done within the moment. I'll give you for example, when we went to the Calabria Club last week, and my nonna was making lunch for my cousin Danilo. She just happened to have done that, and I just happened to have captured that on the camera. So they're just, it's just...
It feels more
just
like
me.
a journal.
Yeah.
It feels more like a journal of your life.
It's like a digital scrapbook, I think they refer it as. Yeah.
Yeah, here I am, 40 years old, not knowing all the modern terms for everything. Digital scrapbook.
I just came up with that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good term.
Yeah.
You coined it right here on the Louis Diaz podcast.
Didn't it used to be, they used to say there were blogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, blogs.
Yeah, it's like microblogging, isn't it? I didn't read much of the caption, but you do speak a lot of Italian. Like, are you fluent?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came...
How?
Well, it came primarily from, my nonna talking to me, which what I thought was Italian, which is actually Sicilian / Italo-Australian.
Oh.
So I just wanted to learn it properly because have you heard there are so many words that the nonni have now incorporated in their language from English, but all they've done is add an I or U to it, and it's become Italian.
All right, give me an example.
A friggia, the fridge. The fence.
What?
A frenza.
But what is a fridge in Italian?
Frigo.
Frigo.
Yeah.
And say it again.
A friggia.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I was in Italian class, and
So funny.
the sentence was, Robert is stopped at the lights when driving his car. Now, I'll say it in Italo-Australian.
Say it in Italian
I'll
first.
say it in Italian?
Yeah, say it in Italian first.
Roberto si è fermato nei semafori quando sta guidando la macchina.
Okay.
Now this is Italo-Australian, ready?
I'm ready.
Roberto è stoppato nei lights quando sta guidando un carro.
Oh, I love it.
It's a language on its own.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, to me, that speaks to how, like, they had to assimilate into Australian culture. I'm just imagining, like, a nonni back then, you know, when they were a lot younger, and they were here, and they were with their Italian mates. And one of them's asking the other, you know, about the frigo.
Yeah.
You know, how do you say frigo in Australian or whatever? And one of them says fridge. You know, fridge.
Fridge.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And then they're kind of just like, oh, now the Aussies will know what I mean.
Yeah.
And now you'll know what there's like a gap that's bridged.
See.
Yeah. It's like, you'll know what I mean. They'll know what I mean. But it's not. Like, no one knows what you mean. It's a whole other language.
It's its own language. What about sunscreen? Ready for sunscreen?
Go ahead.
Sunscreen is, well, the original was called suntan lotion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then my nonna put it together as suntarnation.
Suntarnation.
Suntarnation. And fly spray? What's the brand of fly spray? Mortine.
Mortine. Yeah.
Or Mortino.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
But
It's a whole culture of its own.
It is.
So is the family all from Sicily?
No, my dad's from Puglia. So you know how Italy's...
I went through there. I went through Puglia.
Yeah, the heel of the boot. Yeah, Italy's like a boot, the heel of
Yeah.
the boot. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. No, I didn't go through Puglia. I went through Bologna.
Bologna's beautiful.
Totally
man.
different. Totally different.
Yeah.
How much of Italy have you done?
Next on the... I'm pretty much nearly all of it. I really want to go Napoli next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a whole, like, dialect of Italian that even the Italians can't understand easily.
Where?
Napoli.
Yeah.
They were joking about that.
They just shortened the end of the last... They just cut the last letter off of each word
Oh, really?
almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Napoli was most famous for its pizza.
It is. That's where pizza came from.
Yeah.
It's from Napoli. Yeah.
And an Italian pizza chef in Norway told me, he goes, I'm from Napoli. I was in Oslo in Norway.
Yeah.
And I went to this pizza restaurant. It was magnificent. I was like, how am I having one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my life in Oslo, Norway?
Yeah.
And so I went up to him and said, hey, your pizza's really good here. And they're like, oh, our chef, he's from Napoli. And that's when I learned that, Napoli's famous for its pizza.
It is. They have and they have pizza fritto as well, which is like fried pizza that they fold.
Oh, yeah.
They make a pizza, they fold it, and they deep fry it. It's called pizza fritto.
Are you much of a cook?
No.
No. Oh.
No. Just leave it to Donna. Leave it to Mum.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's one thing I've heard.
I can.
You may, yeah. Do you want us to smile? No. Just be candid. Be candid.
I love the hat, madam. I love it. You're welcome.
Yeah, let's pretend. Let's just be chill for a second.
Maybe one look at me.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, the tradition seems that the cooking's left to, I guess, the ladies, but the older ladies in Italian culture. Would you agree? Like, Nonna likes to cook, generally.
Yeah. They're just... They're a different breed.
They're just inherently hospitable. That's
Yeah.
kind of my taking of it. My daughter's great-grandma, who's passed, she was Aussie but had an Italian husband. Right. And man, she could make some food. But she was always making food for us. Always. It's just she adopted that side of the culture. It's like, I'm the one that's cooking. I loved it. Yeah, she made this brilliant 3 cheeses gnocchi. Ooh. Yeah,
My
anyway,
God.
Sorry, just hijacked us. Yeah.
I'm getting hungry now.
Reminiscing of food. Yeah, I'm gonna have another one of those.
Yeah.
Churros. These are delicious, man. Thank you so much for bringing these
My
on.
pleasure, man. My pleasure.
So, have you done many podcasts and stuff? Talk to me about that.
This is in fact we could say third. sushi being the first. I've done the Italian Australian podcast as well.
What is
They're
that?
based in Perth.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You didn't go out there to do it?
nah. Just did it on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are different.
This is like first in studio mics, headphones on.
Mm.
Yeah, face to face. This is
I didn't realize you were as young as you were, bro. This is a bit of a trip. You might be the youngest person I've ever had on the podcast.
shit.
Quite possibly. Which is a trip for me as a host because I'm like, hang on, am I losing touch with a generation, like with the younger generation? And thankfully having a daughter who's now 16 kind of, inevitably pulls me into that world.
Mm.
But sometimes I'm just like, whoa, they're a different breed, those kids. So thanks for being here, man.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Where are we taking this now? We need to talk about like what's going on in your world right now. Like what are you doing? What's your day-to-day look like?
So I work part time. I work for a marketing agency, and I do all the. Do you know Antipasti Deli Cafe
Where's that, bro?
in Yarraville?
No, I don't spend much time in Yarraville.
Or you know Brunetti Classico?
Yeah.
So I do all the marketing for them on a day basis. Yeah,
So you're working part-time in that gig,
yeah.
using your marketing nous, fresh out of uni.
Fresh out of uni, postgraduate.
Nice.
life, that's it. Yeah. So I do all the social media, the content. We do a bit of website development as well. It's good. It's fun. And then I make videos on the side.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, what happens between the video, like the marketing gig, the videos, and then suddenly you're at the disco dancing? Because you're
Suddenly I crawl back to Chapel Street on Saturday night.
Chaps. Bro, Chaps died for a bit. I thought Chaps was cooked during the pandemic.
It would have been, yeah.
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 I mean, it was during, but then I thought, no, it'll never recover. Has it recovered?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
Is it
much.
back?
It's pretty it's pretty good. It's back. Yeah. Yeah. I enjoy it.
And
yeah.
is there a specific, like, Italian kind of place that you would go to? Like, apart from the Italian club, like on Chaps? Was there a joint?
On Chaps? No. But tomorrow night there is Club Dolce at Miss Collins,
Oh,
which
right.
is
I know
Italian
Miss Collins.
theme-based nightclub. Yeah,
Isn't that like a Latino joint? Isn't that where they do, like, the Latino night? Miss Collins?
I think so.
Oh, sorry, Latino. You're talking to a Latino here. So.
Yeah, it's
But I'm too Aussie now. That's the thing. I grew up here.
yeah.
I've lost my Latino roots, I think.
You know what's funny is that, in a way, I don't know if you find this here. They say I'm Italian.
Yeah.
In Italy, you're Australiano.
Yeah,
My cousins gave me the nickname Kanguro. Kangaroo. Go back to the kangaroo land. You're not from here. You're from there.
Yeah.
And then here, where do we fit in?
Yeah. That's a classic third culture kid problem.
Yeah.
You know this term, right? Third culture kid. I've said it a few times during our recording, but just assuming that you know what I'm talking about.
Because third generation. Yeah. Know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
You're like the ones that have, because the nonnies instill you with the heritage and traditions here,
Yeah.
but you're not them there, right? So, but you're not Aussie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not going to the Boxing Day test. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So you're in this chasm in the middle.
It is.
Where
yeah.
do we fit in?
The two. How do I put it? We're not We're not Aussie enough to be full Aussie,
Yeah.
but we're not Italian enough to be full Italian. It's just. Yeah.
How do they treat you then over there? I mean, apart from calling you kanguro. They
love it. They love it. I feel very embraced when I'm there,
Yeah.
especially in my mum's
What about from non-family?
non-family.
Yeah. Do you ever get any, go back to Australia? You know what I mean? Go back to where you came from kind of thing.
Well, it's funny. They like when I go to a shop, for example,
Yeah.
and I'd like say how much does this cost, or
In
or,
Italian.
In Italian.
Yeah.
And they look at me and they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Australia." "But you speak really good." I'm like, "Thank you." But they're like, "But we can tell you're not from here, but you are." They almost get a bit like, they're not sure. They're not entirely sure. Yeah.
That must
Yeah.
feel good. That must be validating. Sounds like
Yeah.
you've put in the work. You said you went to Italian school as well.
No, I did Italian and VCE
Uh-huh,
in high school.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, you can do Italian here?
Yeah.
It was just German or Indonesian when I was back at school. I was
I think it depends on the school.
Yeah.
My school taught it. So,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Where'd you go to school? You're fresh out, by the way. 22. Would have been yesterday.
Do you know Whitefriars? Whitefriars College in Donvale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fuck's that.
Near Park Orchards, like eastern suburbs.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Eastern
Yeah. So I'm
boy.
eastern suburbs boy,
Yeah.
actually.
I hear you talking about bullying a lot when you're on some of your clips.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm from.
Dude,
Yeah.
it feels
Boy.
like you're on a really good journey. You know, like you're having a time of your life.
Thanks, Louis. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I liked about you when I first noticed you noticed the podcast after I had James Liotta on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I just clicked on and I was like, "Fuck, this bloke's just having a wild time. He's having an adventure." It feels like it's fairly established adventure, but it feels like it's only just the beginning.
It really. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's still fairly new. It's been 10 months.
yeah.
So it's less than a year still. So
But and that's why I'm inclined to ask questions like, because I could feel you struggling with it before, like, where are you taking this? But I'm inclined to ask questions like that because like a lot of people have plans, they make plans, or like what you talked about before, you know, it's all sort of fitting together.
yeah.
Or the bingo card, for example. It's like you have this epiphany
Yeah.
when someone's like, "Oh, this is what we're looking for. This is the checklist." You know, like, you suddenly like you have this like epiphany. It's like, "Oh shit, I tick every box on this list."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like for some people, doesn't have to for everyone. I'm not saying this has to be for everyone, but like for some people, they'd go, "Oh, I wonder what else could be on that list," or I wonder, all right, now that I've worked all this stuff out about myself,
Yeah.
I am. What did you call yourself before? The Muzza? Is it
The modern day Muzza.
modern day Muzza? Like, and I just have to own it now. Do you like? What do you dream about? Like, you know, what's the dream? Like, if I said to you, "Hey, like, what's on your vision board?" What would it be? Would you want to get into?
That's a big
I
question.
feel
right
like
there.
there's entertainment involved. Would it be acting? Would it be? I
There are
don't
a lot
know.
of things I'd love to give a go.
Yeah.
Acting definitely acting.
Have you ever been approached by an agent or anything? I'm curious. I mean, I don't have 30,000 followers on anything, so you know, it's like at what point do agents come up to you and go, "Hey," you know, or not yet even?
Not yet. Not yet. Damn, that's a big question. Because I only really think about the now, like, and then slowly, rather than you don't want to think too far forward
Yeah.
and start worrying too far forward until you haven't
man.
fixed here yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Being fixed. What are you fucking talking about fixed? Like, what do you got to fix, bro? You're like you're a charming young man with a good spirit, a good smile. Everything you do is just fun and totally harmless, by the way, as well. It's all in the name of joy and community. Like,
Thank you.
fucking fix what, bro? You know what I mean? Like, hello, mate. I meet a lot of people in my day to day, just inherently.
yeah.
It's not often you meet someone that's got as much of a light
Mm.
as you do.
Thank
It's
you,
just
man. Thank
joyful
you.
to hang around. Yeah. Don't mean to throw like compliments at you that maybe make you feel a bit uncomfortable potentially.
No,
but I'm
no,
just
no,
saying,
no.
like, don't fix it. You got nothing to fix, bro. That's all I'm saying. But
When I say fix, I mean like establish myself bit by bit.
yeah.
You know,
Mm.
make sure one thing is done first before we can then move to the next.
All right. Well, what's that one thing that you're doing now then? that you've got to that needs to be done before you can move on to the next?
Well, we've got an event coming up
Nice.
in
Is this
August.
like a step up from anything else you've ever done before? Is that it's kind of what I'm feeling.
It is, yeah.
What's
yeah,
the
it is.
event in August? Oh, this episode will be live definitely by August, bro. So we can plug this.
We've got the Salami Festival coming up in August at the Venator Club. You can catch me there. We'll have a whole bunch of stalls there. And still early days. We'll have a DJ as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be...
Is this an event that you're putting on?
I've been asked to put on, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
you've been asked
teaming
to
up with the Venator Club.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'd love to do more of those as well.
Yeah.
MCing,
Events.
performing events,
Yeah.
hosting. Because I love my public speaking. I love being with the people. You know, either being one-on-one or a large crowd. That's what I love to do, man.
That's awesome.
I had I have a sales background behind me as well. I used to work at the Good Guys, funnily enough. Yeah.
Good fellas.
Yeah.
The good guys. Come and see the good. I still got that jingle in my head.
Yeah.
Does that jingle still exist? You'd remember that. It's not that old.
No, yeah. In the ads, it's there, but it's just the instrumental.
Aha.
So it's taking rid of the
kept it.
jingle, yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to get customers like an old ya or or even like just the old, elderly customers are like, can I pay cash?
Yeah.
Can I still pay cash? I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we don't really do the pay cash, pay less deal anymore necessarily. Yeah. Well, I can't speak on behalf of the Good Guys, but yeah, yeah.
Is that where you learned a bit of sales now, I suppose?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. My weekends used to just be filled of selling fridges and microwaves and dishwashers and televisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they take that much selling though, right? You need a dishwasher, bro. You're going to buy a dishwasher.
That's the thing. With people that go into those kind of stores,
Yeah.
you don't go in there just to have a look.
Yeah.
You're going in there because it's broken or you need it or it's ready, it's about to die and you need to walk out of there with something. And they come in, no, I'm just having a look. Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, come, you've come in here for a reason.
This is the salesman coming through now. A bullshit.
It's bullshit, bro. Like, what? Is it the price? Is it the price?
Yeah.
No, we can talk about the price.
How many people that were coming in just for a look walked out with a fridge or dishwasher?
Say about 8 people out of a 10.
He's a good salesman too. Yeah. All of the pieces of your puzzle seem to fit together real nicely, man. Like a sales background, marketing, education.
I feel like I'm at a job interview right now.
events. Yeah, well, that's what I do on the side. I work in recruitment, so part of my, I guess, part of my role, I guess, is to understand someone's, virtues. Like read past the CV to really put the story together on how I'm going to market this person. Because people need to be marketed too, not just products and stuff or events. And people are really bad at doing it themselves. You know what I mean? And so I think that naturally bleeds into my podcast. Maybe you would have heard it when I was chatting to James. I think you listened to that episode, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like, I like to just highlight people's virtues a lot. It's just naturally something I like to do. And like piece their story together. And sometimes I'm having this conversation with someone and they'll be like, oh, yeah, I never thought about it that way. I'm like, yeah, like literally everything you've done in your life has led you to this moment. How are you not seeing that? It's like, yeah, I guess I've just always been in the moment and never really pieced it together like that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to project what I think your future has in store. And I think it's fun. Like it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to get too specific. I'm just going to say it feels fun. And it feels like work, but good work you enjoy.
You gotta enjoy what you do. You gotta wake up every day and enjoy the work that you do. Absolutely, yeah.
And you're already doing that, it feels.
I could say, yeah. I love it. I'm loving it so far. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
which
I
is
get to get to oh my god, stopping my words there. Get to meet great people, like yourself, come on shows like this. So,
mm,
yeah, it's from a year ago to now. It's just probably never have imagined to get to this point.
yeah. Have you ever heard of like the laws of attraction?
I have, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to practice it before? You know, like they tell you that there's specific steps that you can take to attract things intentionally. Have you ever sort of wanted to dabble or been curious about dabbling and going, I might try and see if I can use this law of attraction?
I just think not. I haven't necessarily pushed or tried,
Mm.
but I think look, I've obviously got to work hard, but the best things will just come in a natural way, and it's whatever your destiny is, your destiny. It'll just fall in. It'll just come to you. It'll just fall in your
Yeah. Well,
your
that's
path, yeah.
that's the law of attraction.
Yeah.
It's funny though because there's two angles of it. When you study a bit about the law of attraction, what you learn this really interesting thing, is that every single person's using the law of attraction. Some of them just realize it and do it intentionally, and
Yeah.
others don't. And so what you're talking about is like putting in the work, having a good time, keep following the threads of my life that feel good, feel right, feel fun. You know, fill me with this joy. I like being in front of the people. I'll keep doing that. That's you're actually putting the law of attraction into practice daily,
Yeah.
without realizing it. There's another step.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you're
Well,
right.
well,
yeah.
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 And that's what they say is like everyone's using it. Some people do it intentionally and some people don't. And I think the missing step for you, and it's not necessarily a missing step that's like, needs to be there. It's like if you were to switch over to that person that's using it intentionally instead of innately or inherently through your day to day, which
Yeah.
is what you're doing, or you're going with the flow of it, which is awesome. The only difference between those people is someone might have a vision board and like have an aspirational thing. It's not a plan. It's
Yeah.
not like I wanna, be on stage with, let's just pick a Ronaldo.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not like today you're going to go, all right, how am I going to get to be on stage with Ronaldo? It's that you put a picture of yourself up on your board next to Ronaldo. That's the law of attraction. That's the vision board aspect of the law of attraction. It's not like, all right, now I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do it and call these agents. No. What it is you put the picture up and you visualize yourself there.
Yeah.
Maybe handing him an award or maybe shaking the hand, whatever. Just visualize yourself. And then you go back out to the world and do what you do, right? Like, don't change anything out there.
Yeah.
It's just, if that picture's there, it's really interesting because James Liotta tells a story that's very similar to that, super similar. In our episode, do you remember that time that he was talking about fat pizza?
Yes.
In that ep?
Yes.
And he's maybe told you this story before. Because you told me that you're mates and like he's told you some of the stories.
He's good. Yeah, I love James. Yeah.
But he almost told a cookie cutter textbook example of a law of attraction story where he desperately wanted to be on Fat Pizza. He was contacting his agent. He said, I am this guy. Like, I'm right for this. And then the show cancelled. There's no chance he was possibly going to be on it. X amount of years later, show starts up again. His agent calls him. Hey, you want to be on Fat Pizza? That's a law of attraction story.
Wow.
Where he was like manifesting it so hard. It didn't come in the time frame that he thought it was going to come.
Yeah.
Because he had his heart set on this time frame. But the universe gave it to him anyway. Just didn't happen at the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like you are that kind of person that you could put that picture up and it could happen for you. If you just keep going on that thread that you're doing, you're enjoying, you're learning heaps, you're a young man, but you had that kind of like, all right, fucking, here's an aspirational thing that'll just pop up there.
Yeah.
I reckon I could just see that working for you, bro. I just could. Because you've got all the right energy. Everything that I can see that you do is all done in the right spirit. And you're very grateful for the opportunities that you get given. You speak so fondly about everything. Like, you haven't spoken poorly about anything. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It's like, fuck. Imagine if this guy had a vision board where your life would go. Think about it. I'm not, here, by the way, here's a vision board I brought with me earlier. Yeah, only $9.99.
Yeah,
It's not like
yeah.
I sell vision boards. I'm just curious because I speak to heaps of people, right? And you know, what's this episode 67? I've spoken to people on this podcast that are like, yeah, I had this wild, crazy dream. I didn't know how it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But like 5 years later, shit, there I was. And I think that the difference is that when you get there, there's this small payoff.
Yeah.
Like, holy, I've actually, I thought about this thing. Instead of like, oh, this is just a thing that's happening to me in the flow of it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, this is good. It's like, oh, nah, I thought about this once. It's a difference between that and sort of planning. Because I think like, I have put you on the spot a couple of times where we've been talking and you'll be like, I don't know, I'm just doing the day to day. I'm not asking for your blueprint on how you, what your future's going to look like.
Yeah.
Just like, have you ever dreamt of shaking Ronaldo's hand or something? You know what I mean?
God. That would far out. I'd lose it. I'd love it. Oh yeah. That'd be a dream come true, man.
Yeah.
Far out. Yeah. Yeah.
What would stop you from just saying, I want to shake Ronaldo's hand one day? I know, personally,
Probably wouldn't be me. It'd probably be security that wouldn't let me get through to him. Cristiano, please.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I had this executive coach on recently, and I don't remember the full conversation. It hasn't been released, that episode yet.
Yeah.
Right, but she's really accomplished in her career, and done a lot of stuff. And we were talking about certain things, and she's like, you know what stunts me personally the most? I'm like, I'm talking to this woman who's accomplished in her career, right? Who's already achieved things that other people aspire to achieve.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what could possibly be the answer here? She's like, fear of success. She's like, fear of success is one of the biggest things that stops me from even having that aspiration. And I think for a lot of people that, for me, that's been a trap in the past. It's been so much easier just to go to the pub and forget about everything and go and watch the footy. Because coming back home and working on the podcast and putting in hours, in isolation, in front of an editing suite, is kind of really me potentially it's going to get me to my goals. I don't even know what those are. I'm just having a good time doing podcasts, right? But I imagine having big guests on someday in the same location, and having these same chill chats. And I thought, okay, when you go to the pub and sink 6 pints and watch the footy, that's your fear of success coming at you.
You're just staying in your comfort zone, aren't you?
Yeah. Exactly.
You're staying you just You gotta take that leap. You gotta take that risk. And when you just gotta jump. Obviously, with a vision, you can't just go for something blindly.
Has to be aligned with your values or something. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or yeah. I specifically chose shake Ronaldo's hand because I knew that would, stimulate an emotional response from you.
Oh,
but you
if I could pick one, it might be get on stage with Bruno Mars.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a good dancer too.
Yeah.
He's a dancer, singer, entertainer as well.
I'd say he's the modern kind of MJ. Similar. Yeah. People argue it's The Weeknd, but I'd say it's him.
Oh, for sure, Bruno Mars, bro.
Yeah.
The Weeknd played here recently, didn't they?
He did, yeah. December,
yeah.
Yeah.
November, December, something like that.
After he cancelled the year before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. I mean, like I said, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, but yeah, it's crazy. These concepts, I think that concept of the law of attraction first came to me when I was about 24. And I went to see this fortune teller, this clairvoyant. And I was feeling really lost. I was a new dad, couldn't find a job. Things just weren't working. My ex-daughter's mum was like, why don't you go and see a psychic? See if they have anything for you. You know Joe White, the comedian Joe White? I had him on this podcast,
Joe White.
episode 49.
Sounds familiar.
He did the same thing. His sister told him to go and see a psychic, and the psychic was like, "What do you do for a job?" And he was like, I'm a banker. I work for Bank West." And she starts laughing at him. And he's like, "What are you laughing at?" And she's like, "I just see you on stage. That's all. I just see you talking to people on stage." So some months went by. He decides to do some stand-up comedy training.
Yeah.
He goes up on stage for the first time and got a 5-minute set. He got 3 applause breaks. Like, ooh. And it was like, this is it. I'm hooked. His whole life from that point on, you could almost attribute to going to see a psychic.
Gee.
Can you believe that? That's wild.
Yeah.
And mine said a similar thing too. Mine was like, "Oh, you're a writer. You're a writer." She was like, "Have you written anything?" And I was like, "No." Anyway, but like, I wrote a children's book, published a children's book,
Yeah.
forgot about it, all right? Just decided to give up on it because I wasn't feeling it. Like 12 years later, all right, after I saw the first psychic, I saw this other person who was an astrologer, this guy over a Zoom call, right, during the pandemic. And he starts telling me about my life and this and that and family and this and that and all this stuff that there's like no way these people could know, like unless someone's told them.
Yeah.
Like it's freaky. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, it says here that you're a writer." And I'm like, two completely different esoteric people, 12 years apart. But he said slightly different. He goes, "Oh, well, I see writer here. But in the modern day context, it could be like you're a YouTuber or you're something like that." And I was like, I started a podcast a few years ago and I dropped it during the pandemic. I was like, and it was so much fun and I loved doing it. He's like, "Yeah, that could be it." And so that's why I came back to this.
Man, these psychics are like...
Yeah, I know. Have you ever heard
How
of
do they
it?
know?
Have you ever heard of anything like that? Has anyone ever told you a story like that?
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Yeah, well, Joe White is the only other person I've ever met that has told me a similar story where they walked in to see a psychic. They said, "I see you on stage," and then, but they don't give you the blueprint. They just say, "I see you here," and you've got to figure, like, you've got to then like be like, "How do I make this happen?" I don't know. It's just, for me, it's like I meet a young person, like a young man like you, and I'm like, "Fuck, mate, the world is your oyster." And I see that you're on the right track. And I'm like, I'm kind of getting invested in the Massimo Corrente story. You know what I mean?
We're going to start documenting the Massimo Corrente story, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see the development of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still, yeah.
And I feel like, like I said before, like the sky's the limit. The world's your oyster. It's all just what you, like, you can turn it into what you imagine it to be.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, bro. I think I've just taken you down this weird esoteric kind of like
It's gone very
discomfort.
It's gone very spiritual. It's gone very deep. Midday on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's become a very, very deep conversation.
Yeah.
No,
Well, no, like I appreciate you coming here and taking a risk and throwing caution to the wind. I'm glad you enjoyed James's episode and decided to want to be part of it, man.
of course, man. Of course. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah.
It feels good. It's like you're part of me making my own dreams come true in a way. Just by being here.
I'm glad I can help, man. I'm glad.
And I think like for your audience, like listening to this, they'll have gotten to know some sides of you that they might not necessarily have known.
Yeah. Most definitely, yeah. Yeah, they would have, yeah.
Because I heard you on Sushi Mango and I was like, but I just want to know I want to know more about family and upbringing, and I want to know about like, where's it all going, Because life doesn't end at being the fully sickest wog, it begins.
Party's just begun, man.
Yeah.
Party's just begun.
So the Salami Festival, what else have we got to keep an eye out for? Anything else on the cards?
That's it for now.
Yeah. I think I've taken you way too many spooky, spiritual kind of threads. I think he's stunned now, people. He's stunned. He's like, who the fuck? What podcast is this? What did I sign up for?
I know. Like, we just have a nice chat. We're on Hosier Lane, and we just we're good. gone very in depth,
Nah,
very in
that's good.
detail. Yeah, yeah.
That's good, man. Well, I did that with James. James and I went deep, I think. Did you feel that when you listened to it?
A little bit, yeah. Felt quite personal,
Yeah.
quite personable.
Yeah.
Hearing James's story.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm keen to see what's next for you, man. I'm invested in the Massimo Corrente story. I'll have to come out to the Salami Festival
100%, man. 100%.
in August.
Yeah,
It's my
yeah.
birthday month, so, and I'm a big salami fan.
You want to see what an idea of it will be? There's well, James is hosting actually.
Oh, is he?
That's a more cheese festival, Ricotta festival in
that's
Preston.
right.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah.
I think he just did one in Tassie recently as well.
He did. Yeah, Italian festa. Yeah,
Yeah.
down there. Yeah,
Nice.
that's on the 30th. So you should come down, man. You should come down
Of when?
of March.
30th of March. Shit, that's soon.
It's Saturday.
Oh, man.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Man, the year is flying. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how people are feeling about 2025, but yeah, it is just kind of like blitzing.
It's been a funny year because it's the first year for me. Haven't had to go back to school, and I haven't had to go back to uni.
Yeah.
Just straight into work
How does that
and
feel?
content creating.
I forgot what that feels like.
It's just a lot of freedom. It's
You
just
know
a lot
what?
of freedom now.
That
Time.
year for me
Yeah,
was I was about to be a dad.
yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't get that fucking, I didn't get that period of
Yeah.
a lot of my friends, because we were all in the same boat. Didn't have to go to school, just fresh out of uni. Everyone was doing then was just going to Europe for a year, taking gap years and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, in about 3 months' time, I'm gonna have a kid.
You're already starting to slow down a little bit. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the right way of doing it. I think you need to experience life a bit. For sure. You got a girlfriend?
No.
No. Is that too personal?
No.
What about anyone you're interested in? Want to give them a shout out?
Where do I start? Oh,
Where do I start? Start with a few people that walked through the laneway today.
there were some nice girls out here in the lane.
You're a people person. Yeah. Absolutely you are. And especially if they're attractive. I think we're similar like that. Look, we've got a crowd. Somewhat.
A little bit.
I think they've stopped because there's a van in the way. But
Sorry, guys, we're not lining up for guests here.
no, this has been
No.
fun, man. I've really enjoyed it here. It's been really great talking to you.
It's been awesome, man. Thank you.
Where can people find you? Give us your social handles.
So I'm on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Massimo Corrente.
MAS.
MASSCORRENTE.
Cool. And what can they expect to see from you? Like Italian, Australian,
Australian comedy,
and events.
performing events. Yeah. Day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And following the journey of a 22-year-old man who's making his way in the world,
That's it.
who's got a bright future. I'm saying that.
When you become an adult, you almost become like a baby again. Because when you're a little kid, like when when you start to learn how to start to walk, right?
Yeah.
You got your mum holding you, and then you start to learn how to grab things, and then you start to eat by yourself. Similar thing when you become an adult, because you start to get a license, then you can drink, and then you start to work, and you get to really indulge yourself in the adult world,
Yeah.
essentially.
How do you feel about that?
That's good. I feel as an adult, I'm only about equivalent to a 4-year-old, you could say.
Yeah.
From COVID kind of fucked us all up. It fucked me up.
Yeah.
From being locked up for 2 years from 18, 19. I missed out on those 2 years of starting, of progressing quicker. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, but I love it, man. Adapting now.
Shit, I can't relate to that concept at all of COVID having, I do
It set us
recall-
back. It set us all back a little bit.
What, people of your generation?
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
Good school. And COVID would have been right around the time when you were in like late high school, yeah?
Year 12.
Yeah. Apparently that, like I heard some psychologists and that saying at the time
Yeah.
that was the most impacted generation. The people that were currently finishing, trying to finish their final year of school.
Yeah.
Didn't get the privilege of what a lot of us had. Yeah.
Missed out on formal. Missed out on graduation. Yeah, graduation was on Zoom.
Ah, that's so lame. That's so lame.
Yeah.
That sucks. Wouldn't someone want to be like, let's run it back? There's an event for you.
Run back what? Grad?
Well, let's postpone let's just do the graduation we never had.
We did technically do it. We did it in April
Oh, you did?
the following year.
Nice.
No dancing. Not a lot of people came.
Yeah.
It was and it felt it was too late. It was done and dusted.
Yeah.
It should have
Okay.
been done much.
Yeah, in
much
the moment.
earlier.
In the moment.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because people have already signed up for uni. They're already moving on.
Yeah.
It's cooked.
Yeah.
They're doing O week at uni. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of that celebration is like, oh, we've been at school for, 12 years or whatever. We can't wait to get the hell out of here. And this is it. You don't
Yeah.
want to go back to run that back. Yeah.
No.
Makes sense.
No.
Like for some of them, it's the best years of their life. For others, it's like, I'm ready to move on. Yeah. Makes sense. I do find that interesting, that point that you made, though, about like, indulging in the real world. As I've gotten older, I've started to understand that the real world is laced in a lot of traps. It's just listening to you talk about like, oh, it's like I'm a baby again. It's like now I can start driving, I can start drinking, I can start partying, I can start doing a bunch of other stuff that we won't talk about as well.
Which is the equivalent of walking, grabbing, feeding. It's like when you're a baby, you get that freedom.
I don't know if it is the equivalent.
In a way, it's similar.
In a way, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's new. It's new.
It's new.
And
That's
exciting.
what I mean. Yeah. It's things you've never done before, essentially. Yeah.
I think a lot of those things are traps, though. Like coming from personal experience, I partied way too much.
Sorry, can you hear that?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Will this be picked up on the episode?
Probably not, or maybe a little.
Just for all the listeners, there's some.
What did you think of the episode with James's sound? Did you hear much?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
It was like this.
Yeah.
Here, it was like this.
Yeah.
But I clean it up afterwards. Can't hear much.
Yeah.
Collingwood supporter, though, coming through, so that's probably where it came from.
Who do you back for?
North Melbourne. It's the worst. It's the
At
worst. Second last or last this year, I reckon, for the Kangaroos.
least you've won a premiership.
Who do you support?
St Kilda.
What? They have won one, haven't they?
1966. But
I got one flag. You only need one flag. You don't need 15. You just need one flag. I know it's been a long time between drinks. Oh, how good was that grand final in 2010?
Drought. Man.
Fuck, you would have been 8 years old.
I cried.
Oh,
That was gut wrenching, mate.
I'm talking about the first one, the draw. That was
Yeah.
epic. Epic.
If we continued on, we would have won. We had to come back a week later. We were too tired.
Yeah.
I'll never forget my dad.
They
We
should
had
have
all
done,
the family.
they should
over.
have
We had
done
all the
overtime.
family over for a barbecue. I know it's not really a woggy thing to do, but
To watch the footy.
to watch the football and have a barbecue.
This is not on brand.
I'll tell you the story why we're St Kilda fans. Because every time I tell someone I go for St Kilda, they're like, "What the fuck?" But you're supposed to like go for Carlton or something or Collingwood.
Yeah, you are. You're supposed to go for Carlton. What the?
Well, we go for St Kilda because when my dad came here when he was a kid, the next door neighbour was from England, and he barracked for Man United. and Manchester United's colours are red, white, and black,
Yeah.
which is the same as St Kilda. So
Right.
they chose those
Because of
colours,
the colours. Makes sense.
and they chose St Kilda.
Makes sense. It's like how you pick a Melbourne Cup winner. The purple one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny name, yeah. I'll pick that one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good number. Yeah, I'll pick that one.
How do
yeah.
you say St Kilda in like Anglo, like Italian?
St Kilda.
St Kilda.
But my nonna went for my mum's dad went for Essendon because he goes for AC Milan.
Yeah.
Because when he came here, they were like, "Who do you back for in the football?" He goes, "Nah, no, I have." No, you need to pick a football team. He goes, "Is there one with red and black?" And we're like, "Yeah, Essendon. Yeah, I'll go for this one, Essendon."
Essendon, the Bombers,
Yeah,
North Melbourne's nemesis.
yeah. And with that grand final, I think my dad was going to have a bloody heart attack. He dropped on the floor, and they're like, "Where it's a draw, coming back next week." And then my Zia turned around and went, "Yep, we'll see you next week." So
Really?
we had to do a whole
the
barbecue the week
barbecue.
later.
You're kidding. And that one would have been really hard too, because like that was a blowout, that match.
No, that was
Somber. Should have just left it at last week. Yeah. Can't believe we're
should
talking
just
about
carried on.
footy.
Now they carry on. Now they do extra time in the football because of the sacrifice St Kilda had to make. Now they do that.
Well, it's yeah, true. It's a bit of a dumb rule though. Think about it. What, they're just gonna like get everyone back the next week? I'm talking about the crowd as well.
Did they get a
All the
refund? Or
staff. No, they don't get a refund.
they get obliged to it?
I
Because how are they going to make money the week later?
Well, I
How-
reckon they could sell more tickets to the next match. Didn't they sell more tickets?
I don't remember. You told me.
I don't know. I was old enough to know. I just don't think I can remember it clearly. I felt like if you had a ticket from the week before, it may have still been valid. But I also think, hey, maybe they were like, fuck yeah, let's sell 2 grand finals. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Like, it's a dumb rule. It was
People-
unique, but it was dumb because it's like, we want a result today. We paid for a result.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the last time. So what are they going to do now? We won't find out for maybe decades when there's another draw.
They carry on. They do extra time now.
What? Yeah, just like a
They've made.
OT.
I think they
Fifth quarter.
It was for the 2021 grand final with. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Probably am, but with Melbourne and Bulldogs, I think they went to a draw and then they carried on. I'm
No,
pretty sure they
no.
did, didn't they?
No, the Melbourne smashed the Bulldogs that year. Yeah, they smashed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doggies were cooked.
I was too busy
No, it
watching
hasn't
Man
happened
United
yet. Yeah.
when Ronaldo moved back there.
Oh man, we've taken this so many places.
I don't know where this has gone, bro.
No.
Where is this podcast going? man?
Once we got into footy, I think that's it. I think it's time to call it. But yeah, I appreciate you coming out. It's been a lot of fun, man. It's been really good to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Louis.
you for
thank
churros,
thank you.
cakes, and biscuits.
They're yours, man.
Oh, yeah, another one. I'm gonna smash it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on this year. I will come to the Salami Festival on the 30th of March.
No, the cheese festivals on the 30th
The
of March.
Cheese Festival.
Salami's in August. Yeah.
Cheese, then salami. I got to get 5 months to. But it's been awesome, man. Thanks so much for coming. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Woo. Hey. Clap it out. Clap it out.
Cut.